Australia, we're back. And this time we went straight to the freezer aisle. You've been asking us to investigate ice cream for months. The tubs, the bars, the brands sitting in every Woolworths, Coles, ALDI and IGA in the country. So we did. And what we found surprised even us. There was a time when Australian ice cream meant cream, milk, sugar, vanilla. 4 ingredients your nan would recognise. Dense, cold, rich, dripping down your hand before you could finish it on a hot day. Now, half the tubs in that freezer aisle aren't even legally allowed to call themselves ice cream. The first ingredient isn't cream, it isn't milk, it's water, or palm oil. Sometimes 4 different types of palm oil. We've gone through 9 brands currently on Australian shelves, and we're exposing exactly what's inside them. If this kind of investigation matters to you, hit subscribe right now, because every new subscriber tells the algorithm to push this to more Aussie families who deserve to know what they're actually eating. Stick around, because the last one is the one that should make you the most angry. Here's what the industry quietly did, and why it matters. Food Standards Australia requires a minimum of 10% milk fat for a product to be called ice cream. Simple enough. But if you swap that cream out for vegetable oil or coconut fat, you can still sell it in the ice cream aisle, you just can't call it ice cream. So they call it soft scoop, or frozen dessert, or they say nothing and let the vanilla sundae on the front of the packaging do the lying for them. Choice. Blind tested 25 vanilla ice creams from Australian supermarkets. Only 4 scored 80% or above. Some of the most expensive brands were among the worst performers. A $13.50 imported tub scored 54%. A $6.50 Coles home brand scored 91%. That's not an accident, that's a business model. Replace cream with palm oil, pump the tub full of air, add emulsifiers to hold it all together, throw in fake vanilla specks so it looks real, cost slashed, margin maximized. Some of this stuff doesn't even melt properly. That's not ice cream, that's chemistry. Share this video with one Aussie who still thinks ice cream is ice cream, because these corporations are counting on us staying uninformed. Now, let's get into the 9 brands. Number 9, ALDI Monarch Silver Scoop. Let's start where the bar hits rock bottom. The Monarch Silver Scoop from ALDI is, by all independent measures, the worst performing vanilla ice cream currently sold in Australian supermarkets. In The Guardian's taste test, professional gelato makers described it as watery, flavour that vanishes the second it hits your tongue, leaving nothing behind but sweetness and disappointment. One expert guessed the air content could be above 60%. That means more than half of what you're scooping out of that tub is literally nothing. Frozen oxygen. You're paying for air. Pick it up. It'll feel suspiciously light for its size. That's overrun, the industry term for how much air gets whipped into the product during freezing. Premium ice cream runs at 25 to 30% air. This one has roughly double that, possibly more. No richness, no dairy depth, just cold, sweet, and gone. Yes, it's cheap, but cheap shouldn't mean hollow. Number 8, Weiss, quality control issues. Weiss built its reputation on real fruit and Australian dairy. For years it deserved that reputation, but our investigation found something has shifted. Multiple consumers reported cracking open Weiss products to be met with an overwhelming smell of plastic. Not ice cream. Plastic. They tried to contact Weiss directly and found the customer service contact page wasn't functional. One shopper said they tried 3 times in a month before giving up. Another had a reaction they connected to a recent purchase and couldn't find a way to report it. When a brand's product quality changes and their complaint pathway disappears, that's not bad luck. That's a system that doesn't want to hear from you. The Weiss sorbet was quietly pulled from Coles shelves with no announcement. Loyal buyers still haven't been told why. Number 7, Peter's Original. Vanilla. Peter's has been making ice cream in Australia since 1907. That's 117 years. You'd think they'd have vanilla figured out by now. In Choice's 25 brand blind taste test, Peter's Original Vanilla scored 64%, 12th place out of 25. For a brand that trades so heavily on heritage and Australiana, that result should be embarrassing. Experts flagged the texture as lacking creaminess and the flavour as flat. Not offensive, just deeply unremarkable. Like ice cream that remembered it was supposed to taste like something but didn't try very hard. The 4-litre tub gets described by consumers as very sweet, like marshmallow ice cream. That sweetness is doing the heavy lifting because the dairy isn't. Peters owns the Drumstick, Frosty Fruits, and Paddle Pop, and all iconic, all owned by Froneri, a joint venture between Nestlé and PAI Partners. The family dairy is long gone. Number 6. Connoisseur. The name alone does a lot of work. Connoisseur. It sounds like someone who cares. The packaging is elegant. The price is premium. The marketing is all about indulgence and quality ingredients. Here's the reality. Connoisseur came fourth in the Guardian's taste test, and the reviewer noted that says a lot about the average quality of supermarket ice cream when a brand they'd previously criticized manages only fourth. Choice listed it among the expensive brands that received scores nothing to brag about. At $10 or more per tub, up from $6.50 just a year ago, consumers are paying a significant premium for a product that independent experts consistently rank as mid-pack at best. Connoisseur is owned by Froneri, the same company that owns Peters. Think about that next time you see them sitting side by side in the freezer aisle as though they're competitors. Number 5. Häagen-Dazs. This is the one that should genuinely make you angry. Häagen-Dazs costs $13.50 for a 457 milliliter tub at Coles and Woolworths. That's $2.95 per 100 milliliters. It is by far the most expensive option in the supermarket freezer. The name sounds European, prestigious, premium. It was invented in the Bronx, New York, in the 1960s. The umlaut is fake. There is no Häagen-Dazs place. In Choice's expert taste test, Häagen-Dazs vanilla scored 54%, one of the lowest marks recorded, 54%. You are paying nearly $3 per 100 milliliters for a product that expert tasters put near the bottom of a 25-brand field. Meanwhile, Coles' Irresistible Vanilla Bean, the home brand, the one with the supermarket logo on it, scored 91% and cost $6.50 a litre. Let that sink in. You are paying more than 4 times as much per volume for something that performs almost half as well. That is not premium. That is branding, exploiting your assumptions. Number 4. Sara Lee. Sara Lee is positioned as a quality brand, traditional, trusted, a cut above the budget alternatives. Choice tested it. Choice listed it alongside Häagen-Dazs, Buller, Connoisseur, Elato, and Pana Organic as one of the expensive brands that scored nothing worth bragging about. Not recommended status. Not even close. You're paying premium prices for a mid-tier product propped up by decades of brand recognition and clever packaging. That's the Sara Lee business model in Australia. And it's been working because most of us don't read the label. Number 3. Pana Organic. This one is particularly cynical because it targets health-conscious Australians specifically. The branding is clean. The colour palette is earthy and natural. The word organic is right there in the name. Choice. Experts tasted it blind and their conclusion was unambiguous. The coconut presence overbears on the vanilla. One taster said, "This would be fine if it were sold as coconut ice cream. There's no vanilla aroma at all, only coconut." Another noted the vanilla seeds are visible, meaning someone put them there deliberately, but they contribute nothing to the flavour. So you are buying a product called vanilla that tastes predominantly of coconut, with vanilla seeds included as visual decoration. And the seeds are there to make you think you're getting something authentic. You are not. Pana Organic does not receive a recommended score from Choice. It costs significantly more than brands that do. Number 2. Generic frozen dessert. Tub brands. This one isn't a single brand. It's an industry-wide practice that Aussie shoppers need to understand. Multiple brands currently on Australian supermarket shelves, including some you've been buying for years, do not legally qualify as ice cream under Food Standards Australia-New Zealand. They don't contain enough milk fat. So they replaced it with vegetable oil, palm fat, or coconut oil. They were for years branded and packaged in a way that strongly implied the words ice cream, a dairy product, creamy, wholesome. Only recently were they required to call themselves frozen dessert on the label. In a milkshake, these products turn to ice water, not cream, water, because that's closer to what they are. The tip off, flip the tub over. If water or reconstituted skimmed milk concentrate is the first ingredient, not cream, not whole milk, you're looking at one of these products. If you see multiple oils listed, coconut fat, palm oil, palm kernel oil, same story. If it says soft scoop or frozen dessert anywhere on the packaging, that is your signal. These brands know exactly what they're selling. That's why they worked so hard for so long to make sure you didn't. Number 1, Streets Viennetta, imported version. Streets. The Golden Gay Time, the Paddle Pop, the Cornetto. These are Aussie icons, and they've earned their place in the culture. But here's something most Aussie shoppers don't know, and the brand definitely doesn't advertise. The Streets Viennetta you're buying at Woolworths and Coles is not made in Australia. It's manufactured in Malaysia. The Australian-made version still exists. Peters makes a Viennetta in Mulgrave, Victoria, but the Streets-branded product on the shelf is imported. The packaging doesn't shout about this. It doesn't need to. The familiar red Streets logo does all the work, and consumers assume they're buying Australian. Brand loyalty built on Australian identity is being used to sell an imported product, and shoppers are choosing it specifically because they believe they're supporting local. But wait, we missed one. The best of them all, and it's not on any shelf. The best ice cream an Aussie can eat is made at home. Full-fat cream, whole milk, egg yolks, sugar, real vanilla bean. 5 ingredients. That's it. No stabilizers faking a texture that isn't there. No palm oil standing in for dairy. No frozen air padding out the tub. Just real food behaving the way real food behaves. Is it easy? No. But it exposes the lie the entire industry is built on. Ice cream was never supposed to be a factory product engineered for shelf life and maximum overrun. The industry made it that way because vegetable oil is cheaper than cream, air is free, and sugar keeps you coming back. Drop your best homemade recipe in the comments, because the best response to corporate shortcuts is Aussies who know how to make the real thing. Good ice cream exists, but bad ice cream is more profitable. Remember what we found today. Vegetable oil is cheaper than cream. Air is free. The artificial vanilla costs almost nothing. That's why your ice cream tastes the way it does. If you haven't seen our expose on the worst breads Aussies keep buying, that investigation is linked above. Same pattern, same tricks. Drop the next product you want us to investigate in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Read your labels, question the branding, and stop trusting the front of the package. Stay informed, shop smarter, and we'll see you in the next one.